So in this probability question, Mr. Brown asked his students to choose between two games in order to win a prize. The students would like to choose the game that has the greatest probability of winning the prize. Below is the information. So the first game consists of spinning a wheel and rolling a die, as shown. To win the prize, the spinner must land on an even number, and the number on the die must be greater than 3. Okay, and then the next game is marble jarble. The game consists of drawing 2 marbles without replacement from a box containing 7 white and 8 black marbles. So to win the prize, 2 white marbles must be drawn one after the other without replacement. Okay, that's important. So without replacement, that's important. I'm going to come to that later. So here we have a spinner and we have a die. So let's list the sample space. What are all the possibilities? Okay, so for example, I could have a 1 and a 1, a 1 and a 2, a 1 and a 3, a 1 and a 4, a 1 and a 5, a 1 and a 6, 1 and a 7. So let's list all the possibilities. Or I could have a 2 and a 1, a 2 and a 2, a 2 and a 3, a 2 and a 4, a 2 and a 5, etc. 2 and a 6. So if I list all the possibilities, how many possibilities are there going to be? Okay, so I listed them all out here. And these are all the possible outcomes. These are all the possible outcomes. So the first one is the wheel could be 1 to 7. And the second one could be 1 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we win if the spinner must land on an even number. So let's pick the even numbers. So let's see which ones will be even. So the first one is even. The first one's the wheel. There's a choice. There's a choice. And there are these guys. The first one is even. So first let's check how many do we have in all. We have 7 and 6. There are 42 possibilities, 42 possible outcomes. So with the first one is even, I've highlighted them. And the second number, the die must be a number greater than 3. So if I look at all the ones that are greater than 3, let's highlight those. So greater than 3, 3 is not greater than 3. So it has to be these guys here. So out of 42 possibilities, which ones has the first one that's even? So this one, this one, this one. And the second number has to be greater than 3. So it's anything that happens in both these yellow and blue circles or rectangles. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 out of 42. 9 out of 42. So that's the probability. But do we really have to do it that way? We can simply use the product rule. So this is a 2-step experiment. So the probability of winning is going to be the probability of picking the even number. So what's the probability of picking an even number? Well, there are 3 out of 7 of the spinner coming out an even number. There are 3 out of 7 possible choices. So there's your fraction, 3 out of 7. And what's the probability of getting a number, rolling a number greater than 3? Well, it could be 4, 5, or 6. That's 3 out of 6. And we multiply that. We multiply that. And that gives us 9 out of 42. That's exactly what we got here. And if you change that to a percent and reduce it, divide by 3, 21.4%. So the probability of the first one is going to be 21.4%. Let's write it over here, 21.4%. Now in the second game, we have to do 2 things. We have to pick 2 white marbles. So we can do the same thing. We can use the product rule. So the product rule states that, well, what's the probability of picking a white one and a white one? What's the probability of the first one being white? What's the probability that the first one will be white? Well, since there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 15, the probability of picking a white one is 7 out of 15 times. Now, what's the probability of picking the second white one? Well, it says without replacement. So once I've chosen the white one, I do not put it back in. So let's pretend we chose this one here. Let's pretend that one is gone. Now, what's the probability of picking a white one now? Well, the probability is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of Well, one less, right? 6 out of 14. 6 out of 14. So it's because we have without replacement. So we multiply this out. Now to multiply this out, I can, look, 7 and 14. Divide by 7. Divide by 7. And this will give me, divide by 7, I'll get 1. Divide by 7, I get 2. Same thing here, divide by 3, I get 2. Divide by 3, I get 5. I'm just doing multiplication here. So this is cancels with that. And look, I got 2 over 2. That's 1. So it's 1/5. The answer is 1/5. So the answer is 1/5, which is 20%. Which is 20%. And the final answer is going to be 20% over here. And we can see that in the spin and roll game, you have a slightly better chance of winning in this game. So I would pick the spin and roll game. Even though it's pretty close, you still have a slightly better chance.